we're going to get started, guys. We got Sean and Abby, like I said, they are EPM+Fit instructors every night. Let's talk about it. Let's get into promo first out. So it's, when do we do this? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern time and 9 a.m. on Saturdays, right? Eastern time. Everything's Eastern time.
5 days a week, baby.
You're in Texas, right?
Yeah.
So y'all have to get in a little bit earlier. Thank y'all for doing this. How does the time difference work for y'all?
You know, I think 6 p.m. is plenty easy, but I got to say on Saturday mornings, getting up for an 8 a.m. class is like, man, it can seem difficult until I was out here like, you know, when, and someone's like, oh, it's 6 a.m. I'm in California. I don't remember who it was, but so I can't complain about the 1 hour. You know, some people are up at, I think it's like a 5 a.m., 6 a.m. workout for anyone on the West Coast.
I think that's probably Liz. Liz is out there on
Elizabeth, if I'm not mistaken, or Cindy.
Yeah, Cindy, probably Cindy or Liz. They're like, y'all get to know.
Liz is the one, 6 a.m. So.
Liz she's like on it. Real troopers. Yes, that's exactly right. So thank y'all so much for being on today. I'm so glad to have y'all. We are getting to work together. Yeah, Hank says that he wakes up at 8:57 to be there at the 9. So I'm just trying to rub that into everybody.
Me too.
So we're gonna get started. I want to turn this over to y'all. I want to know, who are y'all? You know, let's talk about y'all. So how did you end up an EPM+Fit instructor, right? What's your path? What is your journey with fitness, and why fitness? What is it about fitness for you? And Abby, we're gonna have to talk about this bruise on your shoulder, okay? Because you told me what it was, and people are gonna want to know. And Sean, you got to talk about why you're in your car. So, because fitness is not just for the gym, right? That's
not just for the gym.
So anyway, so give us, what is your path? How long have you been trainers, and how, you know, what brought you to this? And
all right, so I'll give my real quick background in a real top to bottom once over. I started lifting weights at 18. I was a high school gymnast, and then I realized I wasn't going to the Olympics. And sorry for this lighting, y'all. I know this lighting is crazy. I look like Casper the Ghost. We just got to rock out what we got. Yeah, no. So I'm not an Olympian, you know, lo and behold. And so I got really into lifting weights, and kind of just because I needed something to hold on to. I felt like, man, I'm not the best at school right now, and that's the biggest challenge in my life. But I just needed something to hold on to, and I can physically hold on to dumbbells. So like, that's what got me started. And it just became a habit of, you know, I mean, just a non-negotiable eventually. And so ended up moving to New York. I was a signed fitness model for a while, just continued getting more and more involved in fitness. And then right at the beginning of Corona, I took it online, and we had an online fitness division, and we're doing programming, and we hosted a challenge, and it was like, hey, why don't we do like a once a week live group fitness class? I was at one point a group fitness instructor for a place called Barry's Boot Camp. So I was like, man, I've got some expertise putting together some group classes, and I can, you know, make something happen here. And I think you guys might have all known Eric Skates. He used to work at EPM. I think he's just recently moved on, but
that was Eddie. Sorry. If you just saw me make a face, Eddie tries to scare me on these calls. So
yeah. And so look, Eric showed up to the class, or to the challenge, and he showed up week in, week out. And he said, hey, I think that EPM, this company I work for, would really value these. And so I think now we've taught 250 classes.
Wow.
Beginning of COVID. And it's just that's kind of how it came to be. Abby, pass the mic off to you.
Yeah. Who are you, Abby?
I was always like the really skinny, like beanpole kid whenever I was growing up, and I never really did any kind of exercise or anything like that, because why? And then I gained the freshman 15, as we all do, and started worrying about my body. And I started just exercising to try to lose weight and to try to get in good shape. And what ended up happening was that my nerd skills took over, and I just started getting really into it and really researching why it works and how it works. And before I knew it, like, my friends were coming to me for fitness advice, and I was like, well, now I'm really going to get a certification. So I went and got my NASM certification for personal training, and started training at corporate gyms. And Sean and I met when we were living up in New York, and then ever since then, we've just been kind of on each other's backs.
Siblings, right? That's the word y'all use to describe yourselves. That's so awesome. So talk about the certification process. What is that like? Because you know, there are people who probably would love to teach fitness who, you know, would love to know about that path.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll hop in. I'm certified through 2 certifications, ACE and ISSA. Just general classes you hop on, you take it online, and it just gives you a general rundown of anatomy, physiology. Here's what's important for nutrition. Here's what's important for movement. Abbey might disagree with me, but here's my 2 cents. That degree, that certification, it's nice because you have some type of physical, you know, accolade to say, hey, I am qualified in some sense. It comes from doing it day in, day out, right? I got my certification after 6 weeks of maybe my 12th week in the gym. You know, it was like I'd been in the gym 4 months and I was like, yeah, I could do this. And I went and got certified. That was 8 years ago for me. And so I think all of the expertise, it comes from in between the lines. The certification is really nice. And, you know, like clearly we want to make sure that we do know what's going on, but really just hopping in and getting your body moving is where you're going to do most of the learning.
I think that's true of a lot of things where you get like the base knowledge, and it's incredibly important to have the knowledge backing it up. But what really translates into other people's ability and making other people's lives better is understanding how to communicate that knowledge with them, because you can't just spurt out textbook knowledge to people and expect them to understand the names of the muscles and the anatomy because you went and studied that. So I think that's kind of where our stories overlap there, is that it's important, but it's not what makes other people's lives better.
That's one of my favorite things about the workouts, when you guys explain things. You can this past week, both of you explained something that in my mind, I have my own personal journey with fitness, but you guys explained something, and in my head it just was like, oh yeah, like that makes total sense. Like Sean, you were describing something about like feeling the way your muscles stretched as you leaned into the exercise. And you were going off on this like tangent, and then at the end of it, you were like, oh, I don't even know if that made sense. And I was like, yes, no, like it clicked for me. Like I brought that into my workouts, you know. I clicked, and it made so much sense. And actually, I want to, you know, I went out and got a personal trainer for myself. So now me, you know, because of the way that y'all described it, I was like, makes so much sense. I had worked with a personal trainer before, and I don't work well in group settings when it comes to fitness. This light is bothering you, isn't it?
It bothered me so damn much. I just got in the back seat so I could not look like Casper the Ghost. So,
you know what, this is working for you, but y'all really don't even have to worry. You know, y'all look great. I'm sitting here and I'm looking at you both, and I'm like, I want to ask such a random question. Do y'all ever envision like an animal that you see yourself as when you're working out, like when you're doing your training?
Yes, I'm an otter.
Okay.
That's my spirit animal, man. Like me and otters, we get along for sure.
Specifically river otters or like the sea otters? The big long ones, or like the...
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with yes on that one. It's a little, it depends on the day, man. You know, it's like
what about you, Abbey?
How feisty am I feeling, you know? So
it's kind of weird. I do think of myself in an animalistic way, but the animal that I think about is like caveman, like like get in it.
No, I am 100% right there. I think about like, I know it's so weird, but I think about like early humans and like how they would move and like whatever. I also think about like having to survive a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
You know, that gets me motivated when I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta be able to run and like pick myself up off a ledge. This is just me. But thank y'all for answering that random question. I didn't pre-screen that one before, right? So thank you for answering that round the spot. So thank y'all so much for sharing about you. I want to get into some hot topics, some hot questions for y'all about fitness. I'm going to bring it on. So we're going to start with questions about you, and then we're going to move into more general. And everybody who's watching, if you have any questions about anything, right? Nothing's off limits, right? Put it in that little chat. We want to know. Don't feel like you cannot ask any question, because this you guys are awesome about explaining things and making people connect with their body. That's very important to me. So I really appreciate that about y'all. So first, you both have the answer. What is your fitness specialty?
I'll take that one away. My fitness specialty is posture and functional training. I found out when I was in high school that I have scoliosis. So there's just like certain number of like postural things that just need to get kept up with me. And so it's just kind of become a thing for me. It's like I always am the go-to person for posture, for like chest up, shoulders back, and alignment. And yeah, so even though I like big fitness, working out and stuff, the passion is in the posture and the functionality, making life feel good.
I'm just gonna back that up. Everything she said is accurate. I got neck surgery a year and a couple days ago, and she has done so much for me. I'm a worker outer, right? I like to go to the gym and move. I'm a movement addicted junkie. I like to sweat and get my heart rate up into my throat. Abbey had to slow me down and say, "You got neck surgery, my guy. Slow it down. We're gonna do some correcting before we get on to lifting." And so, just to say, life feels good, and she's really good at that. So if y'all ever have any questions, aches and pains, about aches and pains, and by the way, a side note, there's 41 people on these calls right now. 41 people. We've never had 41 people show up to any of these workout classes ever. But really, I think the most we've had is maybe 15, 16, 17. We'll take the time for all 17 attendees to really give you some in-depth analysis on the specific pain point that you're experiencing. So that to say, it's like we're constantly, even with the attendees, going through at the end of class asking, hey, are you feeling tight or locked up or rigid in any body part, muscle group, et cetera, and Abbey can really shine through right there and give you some functional exercises that set you up for success. So,
and you said something this, sorry, I cut you off. You said something this past week that was like, we're gonna put your email in the, so I just dropped the Get Fit link in the chat. So you can go there, and you can sign up, and you'll get the things that you need. The next class is tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time. I'm just answering a question really quickly. There's some questions coming in. But y'all said something that you can email you personally to say, what are your these are my fitness goals, and you can help, right? These are something you're offering.
What I'm going to do with Abbey is I'm going to go set up a little web page and a little portal for EPM. So on that, I'll have a couple things, like we have a collaborative Spotify playlist so that we can add and subtract music as we so please. I'll have a download link for all of the workouts that we upload, because we record them all, and then you can go, if you have a favorite one, just go steal that, and you can go revisit with your family over Thanksgiving if you want to try to bring that, whatever it is. But with that, we'll also go and have all these resources for exercise plans, some ab workouts, some diet protocols that you might might learn a thing or two. And so I think, Abbey, I'm adding a new one right now. We can add a little like a question box, just like what is it, like whenever you have a little box and it's like a little recommendation box, we'll have like a little question, like a form, a Google form. All of you can ask all of these questions. I think Latasha's in here asking, are carbs more important than protein, or back and forth. Christi's asking about heart rate zones, and I think I see Jennifer in here talking about traditional versus traditional exercise and yoga. I'll put one spot for all 41 of you. You can go just ask all these questions. And then I've talked to Blaine about hosting some type of a round table that's not an exercise class, that's not movement oriented, but there's more just this right here and discussion oriented, because there's no such thing as a stupid question. I promise there's not. I know we all think that, but it's like someone's going to look stupid asking the question, but then 99% of everyone else is going to be really glad that it got asked. So I guess I'll put the box out there so you don't have to publicly put yourself, out on walk the plank, but all these questions can get answered. And so we'll make sure that you're actually getting a lot more value than just being led through a class.
Yeah. And Abbey, the posture thing, I definitely, Jackie said, can we talk about the posture thing? I definitely want to talk to you about that too. That is my main goal, and my number one fitness goal is like, I'm noticing, like, because I sit all the time, my shoulders are slumping and things like this. And I'm like, I don't want to be that old man that's just like, walking around like this, I want to,
One of my favorite things to tell people is that your entire life is a battle against gravity. And as a baby, you're crawling and you're winning the battle, and then you're walking, you're running, you're getting it on. And as you get older and older, gravity just starts taking over and we just kind of chin down to the ground. And this is something that you can work towards, and it makes you so much sexier, so much taller, so much more confident looking.
And
So
when you say sexier, that's really about yourself, right? Like you feel, right? Like it's not about, you know, other people, right? I mean, it could be, but right?
like think
Yeah.
about, I'm gonna move my camera real quick, but like if you see, like that's how my abs look when they're relaxed. But if I do good posture, that looks sexier. That's
Yeah.
just,
She didn't even change anything, and it's like the way she feels about herself is improved. So your self-image, your self-confidence, the way you feel in the morning, no aches and pains. I mean, where's the downside, really?
Now, one of this could be for some people who are just getting started, muscle soreness. Can we talk about muscle soreness? How do we wrap our heads around, I call it the tight feeling. So like I've been working on my chest this week, so I'm feeling very tight right here, right? So I call it tight. But you know, how do you begin to live with that? How do you?
So check this out. If anyone experiences incredible muscle tightness and there's a concept called DOMS, DOMS, delayed onset muscle. Concept of, hey, I went and worked out and sorry about that. I think you went to Bluetooth there. Said, hey, I went and worked out and nothing hurt for 2 days, but that third day, oh my Lord, I couldn't even move. So there's a couple amino acids you can take that if that's you, you can take a supplement to help alleviate that. Or like our Saturday class, we've gone ahead and restructured it so that it's a mobility, flexibility, feel good class. So you're still getting a sweat on, you still have the opportunity to really work out. But Saturday mornings is all about, it's Saturday morning at the latest 9 a.m. at the earliest, Lisbeth, I don't know how you do it, 6 in the morning. We're not going to get you in there and beat you over the head with a sledgehammer. We're going to get you in there and teach you how to open your body up. And Blaine, like, you know, release your anterior deltoid and your shoulder and your chest and how to, you know, open those muscle groups up. So I think in terms of muscle soreness, you're going to get sore, but we're not here to put you to a point that's like that you feel like you're hurt. All right. And a lot of these quotes and sayings that, you know, Abbey and I are trying to dance around right now, it's because we say them so many times on these classes that anyone that comes to classes is probably like, man, these guys don't know how to say anything else. But there's a big difference between being hurt and hurting. Like if you're hurting, you know, Blaine, I'm sure your chest, yeah, it's hurting a little bit, but you're not hurt. You're not injured. Your pec didn't, you know, it's not cut up and actually injured. Yeah, you're going to walk away hurting, and you got to set your expectations around, hey, this doesn't feel as good as a Thai massage, but also just to say, I do not, Abbey does not, you know, feel like I literally got hit by a train. So muscle soreness shouldn't be that aggressive, but you know, you're working out. Like it's not, you know, it's not back scratches.
Practical one as well is that muscle soreness often comes from a new stimulus. So if you're doing something new that you haven't done before, if you keep doing it, it seems wrong, but if you keep doing the thing that made you sore, it will make you less and less sore, even though it's having the same muscle growth or weight loss benefit. So there's just a kind of a steep learning curve there that once you're in it, you're in it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just gotta stick with
I noticed that this week because I'm joining more regularly. This is my commitment. This is on Empower Our Lives. So this is my commitment. You know, I'm going to be here more often because I'm committed to my fitness goals. Because like Tasha said, like you said, I am working out to be sexy, right? For myself. I want to feel good. I want to feel that, you know, I want to wake up and feel like y'all. So crap, I forgot my question, but you just said something. Oh, but my legs were like very sore from the workout on Monday, and then when I wasn't able to make it on Tuesday, but on Wednesday I was like, I'm not gonna be able to do these things. Like I'm just not gonna be able to move my body this way. But the way that y'all explained it and the way you talked about feeling that into your body, you know, made me like, I was like, oh, I actually could have more mobility after that class, and it felt so much better. So I'm plugging y'all. And one more thing to plug is that you get $500 from EPM for being the most consistent. And you said set and ask for expectations, Sean. You guys will pepper in one of our fundamentals into the workout, correct?
Yeah, and you guys get to win a ton of awesome prizes. $500 a month. I think LA said there's multiple winners to be had every single month.
You have to tie for it. If you tie for first, I think 5 people can get the tie, right?
There's up to 5 winners this month, or maybe it's every month moving forward. But
So,
I mean, $500 is like for showing up to free workouts.
exactly.
That's a thing. Like EPM, I know this is so dumb to even say this. EPM pays me and pays Abbey to do these classes. You're getting a free resource in highly, like, look, I don't mean to toot my horn this hard, but like, these are badass classes. They're run very smoothly. Like for a Zoom class, I mean, this is top notch. Maybe not the number one, but hey, I'm top 5. All right, top 5.
Yeah, for sure.
They already pay us. They're now paying you to take advantage of a free resource that's already high quality. It doesn't even make sense. You get Fitbits, $500 cash. You get to look and feel better and be sexier. I mean, come on now.
You're getting paid to work out. They're doing this for their own well-being. You get to do both.
And that's just so awesome. And y'all said y'all are top notch, and that absolutely is 100% accurate. You do not bring, y'all bring it every day. You bring it, and your workouts are the routines that you do are so top notch, and the way it makes your body move. So I'm very appreciative of that. I'm going to move to some other questions. We have some questions in the chat that I want to address. So Ashley Payton asks, and this is one of my questions: do you think working out and waking up your body improves your work productivity and overall brain function?
Yes.
And then I want to add a little caveat. Do you think working out in the morning is better than, when do you think is the best time to work out for that?
Okay, so this is actually really funny because we got to talk about this in our last class just a little bit. Someone asked, hey, we just finished this workout. Do I need a protein shake right now after this workout? Here's the reality. I'm not worried about getting my protein shake in within 45 minutes pre or post. I don't care. It doesn't matter specifically there. Like specifically on that micro level, get your food in. It doesn't matter when you do it. It doesn't matter if you like working out in the morning, you like working out in the evening. Work out. Right? Like if you say, oh, but working out in the morning is better and I missed my morning workout, so I'll just wait till tomorrow morning. No, you missed a day. Like you're down one, right? And like it does not, if you've ever heard of the Pareto principle, it says that 80% of the results come from 20% of the inputs, right? 80% of your outcomes come from 20% of your inputs. So if you want to learn to play guitar, there's only 4 basics. Learn to strum, learn to finger notes, finger chords, and keep tempo. And then you're a guitar player. Now you might not be able to swing the guitar around your neck and catch it and like rock out like, Eddie Van Halen. But it's like, did I say that right? I might have messed that up. I'm not a rock and roll guy. But that to say, it's like, guys, 20%, don't worry about the 20 if you haven't mastered the 80. The 80 is show up and work out. Get your nutrition in, drink a gallon of water every day, or at least aim for it. And then get good sleep. Now, past that, all the specific nuances, once you advance to that next level and you're like, hey man, I have maxed out my results because I have been consistent with my exact routine for the last 3 months and I'm stagnated. Then it's like, okay, hey, let's start worrying about what's your meal timing look like? How can we improve, these small little differences? But just the overarching point that I'm trying to make is just get started. Like, don't worry about the finer details. Just take some action steps and get moving.
Can you repeat those 4 things? Because that was awesome. I want to write this down just for later. Do you remember what you just said with the 4 things?
Exercise, diet, drink your water, sleep. Abby, you got one to add? Like I'm coming up with this off the, shooting from the hip right here.
Oh, no. I think, movement, sleep, recovery, and water, food. Those are things. Those are the same things. But I would say, in addition to what Sean is saying, although it's important to just get it in, and you don't need to worry about those things, you will find that there will be certain things that will work better for you on certain days. So it's very personal. So for some people, they find that they have more energy when they're working out fasted. So when they haven't eaten breakfast yet, because they don't feel weighed down and bloated. And some people feel way better whenever they're fueled up. So you really have to play with it yourself and not only figure out what works best with your schedule, but with your anatomy. So it's very personal, hard to answer the question, but those are the four.
So basically what you're saying, all right, just to summarize really quickly for everybody who needs to take notes on this. 1, get started. 2, get curious.
Yes.
That's really it.
That's perfect.
That's really your fitness journey right there. So if you need to change your mindset around this, if you're someone like me who liked to work out, but then I hit this bump in the road and I was like, actually, I don't like this anymore, but I want to get back on into this, right? I have to change my mindset. So that's it. Get started, get curious. Those are awesome tips. So thank y'all. I'm going to move on. We have some other questions. So John asks.
Before we jump into it, I just want to say for everyone that's listening, there's 40 people. Okay. Again, we've never had this many people come to a class. And plus, you're all a captive audience right now. I have you. I just want to break down how the classes are run, because I was talking about, oh, they're top notch. And then I had a couple of people saying, no, you are top notch in the comments. I think it was Latasha. Thank you very much. Love that. Y'all, these classes are not meant to beat anyone into the dirt. And so the way they're run is very specific and very intentional in the formation. We've got everything run on time-based intervals so that if I give 30 seconds to do push-ups and you're like, I hate push-ups, that's cool. You're going to end up walking out with a ratio of 1 push-up for 30 seconds. That's totally cool. That's your workout. That's what you can do. And that's your starting point. Get started, get curious. Maybe you're curious to see if next time you can do 2. But in that same workout, because it's time-based, Hank is going to do 60 push-ups in 30 seconds. He's getting 2 push-ups for every second, right? And the whole deal is it's made in a way where there's regressions for every single person. There's progressive movements for every single person. But just to say, it's so inviting to every single person. As a really fit dude, I told Abbey this story the other day because I had a learning lesson at Barry's Boot Camp, which is a luxury group fitness center. I had a guy come in and teach a class, and he didn't know that I was an instructor. He was a guest instructor from like Atlanta or LA that came to New York to come teach a class. And then here I was, and I was taking the class as an attendee. I got to take free classes. So I was in there, I was, shirt off. I was lifting the 50-pound dumbbells, and I was jogging on the treadmill, pushing myself like I'm a fit dude. And this guy kept kind of heckling me. Come on, Mr. Muscles. Don't put the weights down. Come on, big guy. Like, you're not going to set that dumbbell down, are you? And I was kind of like getting chippy. Like, I don't feel positively reinforced right now. This really pisses me off, man. And then I was on the treadmill, and I'm not a runner, right? I got asthma. I'm practicing right now to run a marathon with Abbey in December. It's tough. I'm not good at it. So just because I have a 6-pack does not mean I'm like Mr. Fit across the world. Some of y'all could probably outrun me. And that's to say, like, fitness is not you're either good or bad at it. There's so many different areas. So Blaine, like, you're getting back into it. Don't think I have to do it this way. You can always. This guy comes up to my treadmill and he takes his hand and he touches my button, pushing me into a speed range that I felt legitimately unsafe at being at. I thought I was going to lose my feet. I couldn't breathe. So I had to stop the treadmill. I hopped off. I walked out of class, and I vowed I'll never do that to any of my clients because it was so belittling and intimidating and just like frustrating to feel like, man, this guy's not even listening to me. It's my workout, right? So I'll program it, but I just really want to make that known. I'm inviting all of you to come to these workouts because you'll have maybe the best workout you'll ever have. Certainly the best body weight workout, because the best is not the hardest. 30 minutes of burpees and stair sprints, that sucks. 30 minutes of an empowering workout feels a little bit better. So that was my 2 cents, but now you all kind of know how the workouts are run. You're all invited.
I love it. That's awesome. So we asked, y'all answered the question just to say that John asked, what about sleep quality? There's a lot of questions. Can you explain calorie deficit again? When is it important to pay attention to that? We haven't really got, there's so many questions. We need like 3 hours really to go over all of
that round table.
Yeah, in the thing I was talking about earlier in that web portal, I'll add today, I'll make it a priority. I'll go get a Google form. Blaine, I'll send it to you. All of these questions are awesome. So I want to make sure we don't lose any of them. y'all are going to be able to go add them all into this thing. And then Blaine, whether it's anytime the next 2 weeks or 2 months, we'll set a roundtable. I'll put aside 3 hours and I will go into an in-depth on every question you have, because I want to make sure you're all feeling like you got your questions answered. So
yeah, I want to kind of there's so many good questions here, but I have 17 questions. I'm showing everybody now, right?
Keep powering through, and whatever doesn't get answered, honestly, like that's a great start for our
Yeah. So can we talk about like length of a workout? Right?
Yeah.
People think like, oh, I got to go for an hour. I got to do it 7 days a week. I need to eat, this, and this. What is a good range for a workout? I know the answer probably will be what works for you, right? But can y'all answer that? Like, how often should I work out? What are good lengths for a workout? And what should I focus on in these?
So it's kind of a ratio as far as like the length and intensity of your workouts goes. Is the more intense your workout is, the shorter it needs to be. So if you only have 15 minutes to work out, honey, you're sprinting. Like that's what you're doing.
Take that intensity through the roof.
Yeah. But if you have a little bit more time and you can take that time to focus in on like a specific muscle, if you're really like, oh man, I really want my shoulders to look good, then yeah, like you can spend a little bit more time to take it slow and be more intentional with it. But you're really getting about the same amount of work done. You're just expanding or contracting it to fit your schedule.
I'll give a blanket answer. 45 minutes to an hour and 15. If you're spending 2 hours in the gym, it's probably too long, no matter what you're really doing. If you can't commit to 45 minutes, 3 to 5 days a week of exercise, it doesn't have to be weightlifting, but really you should aim for more days of the week than not. So at least 4 days, right? If you're getting active more days than you're not, you're winning, right? That's really simple. 45 minutes to an hour and 15, whether you're walking, jogging, lifting weights, or like Abby said, if you got 15 minutes and you need to bust it out, I mean, you could really knock out a whole workout in 15 minutes called HIIT training. I'm sure you've all heard of it, high intensity interval training, like bouncing your heart rate around. You can definitely put some serious work in, but really, Abby, how long would you say your average workout is? Mine is probably like 50 minutes, 55 minutes.
I would say probably about 45 minutes as well. I like to spend a little bit less time resting, keep the intensity up.
Yeah.
So resting, how often should we rest, right? Then that's the next one. That's like, what is good rest versus, poor rest? Is there different kind of rest? These are all kind of questions.
Look, you need to sleep, and you need to sleep 6 to 8 hours ideally. I know some of us are a 5-hour kind of a thing. If you're only getting 5 hours because you're not a big sleeper, go relax. Put yourself into a forceful relaxation for at least another hour of the day, right? Try to get yourself to where you're hitting 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep. And then in terms of rest between movements, the way that we'll do it in our classes, is it's like, okay, we're going, 2 to 3 minutes of work and then about a minute of rest. That's kind of the ratio. If you're in the gym, it's very tough to say blanket statement, here's a good rest time. If you're doing 10-pound dumbbell curls or 5-pound dumbbell curls, your rest time is very different than if you were doing, very heavy sets of squats. Yeah, like five reps. Your rest could be upwards on the top end of 4 minutes, on the lower end down to like 15 to 30 seconds. And so the heavier the weight is, the more that you have like gotten red in the face and made your neck and forehead veins bust out, the more rest you're probably going to want to do. But if your neck and forehead veins are busting out because you were running and it's very low intensity, but like high volume, I'm going to say low intensity. You can run high intensity, but you understand the difference I'm trying to make, right? If it's not heavy lifting, your rest can be a little bit lower, right? It's more surface level. You don't need as much rest. But whenever you're like lifting, I mean, a burning car off of your off of like your orphaned dog, that one you probably need 4 minutes of rest. It's like that's a horrible analogy, but I hope you got the point. It's like anywhere between 15 seconds to 4 minutes, depending on kind of the setup. But rest till it feels good, till you feel like you're recovered for the next set, I think is the, without giving you a time range, until you feel like you can come at the next one and give it your best.
How often are y'all training? Like just y'all, like personally, like how often do you train?
How many times a week do I actually exercise, or do I train classes?
No, you exercise. Yeah.
Okay, that's a different question. 5 days a week, I'd say.
Okay.
5 days a week. The other 2, I'll do at least a 30-minute stretching session. I'll just sit down on the ground and literally do, like, I'll take the mentality of a 2-year-old, 5-year-old. I'll just roll on the ground and roll around and do what feels good. And you're like, is this a stretch? Does it feel good? Like, then do that thing, right? Like the stretch that feels good for me is going to feel different for you, and it might not feel as good. But yeah, I mean, I'm working out at least 5 days a week, and that's what works well for me.
Yeah. Abbey?
Yeah, I also work out about 5 days a week, but I'm not really strict about that. It's mostly like on the days that I have time. And obviously, I mean, I'm coaching you guys 5 days a week as well, so I'm in there getting some movement. But since my main focus has been marathon training, my training is less in the gym and more on the streets these days. So it ends up being longer runs. So if I'm going for like 10 miles, then I'll probably work out fewer times because I'm doing a lot on one day and I need more time to recover from it.
So Christi asked us, running versus lifting is different oxygenation in the muscles, correct? Sean, you sent the answer, but directly to me. So I just want.
I am pasting it. I just realized I sent it just to Christi. So I'm making sure I get that to everyone.
Cool. I was just going to read it for you. Christi, the answer is yes, completely different levels of muscle fiber activation, much deeper muscle fiber stimulation from resistance rate training as opposed to cardio. So I just wanted to answer that. Thanks for messaging me, Sean. Appreciate it. So you talked about stretching. Stretching is very important, right? We talk about stretching.
Yeah.
All right. Tell us about the importance of stretching.
So think about your muscles like a rope. And if you have a knot in your rope, it's going to get shorter. And if you keep working out and putting more knots in that rope, it gets super short. And then what happens when your muscles are super short is that you can't extend and contract the muscle correctly. So it's just kind of stuck in that short position, and that pulls on other muscles in your body. And that's where we start getting postural problems. That's where we start getting pain in the body. So stretching gives your body a chance to relax and reset and come back to a neutral place where you can actually activate the muscles better in your workouts. Plus it feels really good.
It does feel good. I love stretching.
Yeah.
I'm going to go meet with this group here in Atlanta that just opened called Stretch Zone soon. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but they like teach you how to stretch better. And I'm excited because I love stretching in the sun. All right, cool. So we've got about 15 minutes left on this call. So we are a corporate environment, right? We have people working at home, we have people working in offices, but most of the time we're glued to our computers, we're typing, we're working, we get, we're kind of slunched over, butts start hurting, we're tired. What are some workouts that we can do at our home office, at our office, whatever, that we can kind of just get up and kind of get moving, right? What are some little ones? Like, is it squats? Is it,
So the biggest recommendation that I have for this is think about how your body is positioned when you're sitting. So if you're sitting, your legs are bent at the hip, your knees are bent down, your chest is kind of forward and your neck is forward. So what we want to do is stretch out the front of your body and activate the back of your body. So if you're exactly right, like those squats, that'll activate your glutes. You want to do macro movements, big movements. And so things like glute bridges and stretching out your quads, everything that's tight on the front side needs to get relaxed and stretched, and everything that's loose on the back end needs to get tightened and pulled back.
So with that being said, I think, and this is one that we talk about frequently in class, inner upper back muscles, right? If I put my hands out by my side like a big letter T, and I put my arms out in my wingspan. Okay. Now, if you just drew a line straight across your arms all the way across the center of your back, right there, one straight line, those are your posture muscles, right? It's your lower traps. So not upper, not like up in your neck, But that same muscle, this guy sits right on top of your shoulders, your trap muscle, the one that you're always trying to like get tight and rub out. That one extends down your back, right along your spinal cord, just a little bit. And you have some muscles called your rhomboids. You have like, some rear delts on the back of your shoulders. All those muscles are the ones that are going to do what Abbey said, get tight, pull your chest open everything up. And then, hey, we don't have tech neck, right? We don't sit like this anymore, right? You don't look like Quasimodo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like, how happy is that? So what you can do are any movements that activate those inner upper back muscles. And I'll break it down for anyone that hasn't taken classes or that isn't really familiar with the gym. You have really basic muscle groups that perform fundamental movements. So pushing, pulling, and then legs. Okay. And then you have pushing and pulling within legs, but really you have upper body pushing and pulling, chest and triceps push. So if I push you away from me, or a bench press, or you come up to me and I'm like, get out my face, Blaine. I'm using my chest, I'm using my triceps. Now, if I grab something and I pull it to me, okay, I'm using my back and my biceps, just like Abbey showed you right there. Actually, Abbey, do that one more time.
Yeah.
You can see her shoulder blades pinching together like she's squeezing a Sharpie between her shoulder blades. Hey, and also, like she said, her shoulders don't come up to her ears as she does that. She's able to squeeze just circumferentially, like around. We're not squeezing up or down. It's just opening directly around, right? Squeezing shoulder blades directly back. What that does is help pull and strengthen all these posterior chain muscles into alignment. Now you're winning that fight with gravity. And I was just going to say, whenever you pull, okay, because this is a tough one to do. And actually everyone that comes to classes, you guys need to hear this as well. It all depends on the range of motion traveled by your elbow. And it's very tough to train these back muscles without equipment. So we do the best we can body weight, but it's very tough. Like, on a push-up, you have gravity. You're on your stomach and you just push. Okay, flip it over. You're on your back. I want to pull something. You ain't got equipment. It's kind of tough to do. So I'm giving you kind of a 2-second synopsis on how to fix your tech neck, how to strengthen these muscles. Go to the gym and get on any movement that pulls. So any type of like a rope that you can pull towards your face, any type of a machine where you can pull and your elbows are hooked out wide instead of being close, right? Inner upper back muscles straight across your upper back. Anything you can pull, that's going to be the one that's going to open your chest up, open your shoulders up, make you stand with better posture, like you're proud, like you're sexy. And so I think that's the big thing to take with you for your posture. Abbey?
I'll do you one better. I'll give you one that you can do like right from your desk at home when you're feeling it. Get yourself up against a wall. This is my favorite thing. We do this in a lot of our classes.
Angels. Yeah.
Put your arms up like a goalpost and just flip your hands down to tabletop and back up. So you should have your elbows in line with your shoulders and down away from your ears. We're not up here. We're down here, nice and even. And you should
Blaine, it's gonna be tougher than you think.
Yeah, right. I'm like, I can't even. Yeah, wow. Okay, cool.
So yeah, I was gonna say last thing about this: push muscles, pull muscles. And this is the kind of stuff that we're teaching you in class, because these are the things that you just don't know that you don't know. And to go back to the exercise certifications, this is the type of stuff they don't teach you in certification classes either, unfortunately, right? I might learn what the bicep is, but not how to apply it. Y'all, whenever you're pulling, okay, if I pull something and my elbow doesn't move, it's all biceps. Okay, so if I pull something here, my elbow really isn't making very much of a range of motion. It's not really moving positions. It's all arms. I want to extend forward and pull those elbows all the way back. Like I've got target practice right behind my elbow. And again, I'm sorry I'm in my car. I know this looks so awkward right now. I got caught up in a meeting. But it's these little differences that I can say, okay, guys, make sure you're pulling your elbows all the way back, because that's what opens my chest. If I pull, okay, because that item is getting closer, but if I stay like this is the position we're trying to avoid. But you can perform the same movement, and if your intentionality and your execution isn't aligned, then it's worthless. And so these are the kind of little things that's like, okay, look, you're working out, you're sleeping, you're drinking your water, you're curious. Now let us give you the guidance for that 20%. You've already got the movements. Now we'll just fine tune so that you can really get the most bang for your buck.
And again, those are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, or Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern. And I'm going to drop the link again. We're not done just yet because I'm going to make you do your best sales pitch, right? For fitness. No, I'm just kidding. But I just want you to give us some encouraging words, because for some people out there, it just makes sense when you're doing it, right? I'm going to copy and paste. Sean just sent us his email address, but it just came to us. So,
oh, dude, I don't know why.
This is Sean's email address. You can reach out to Sean, right? I'll let you talk for yourself, but they can reach out to you to talk about goals that they may have or questions, right? Directly to you.
Please. And also,
right.
You do not bother me. And for the record, I also took it upon myself and Abbey. We've got a couple supplement sponsors. We wanted to go above and beyond for y'all as well. So I had a couple people email me their specific fitness goals, their specific workout regimens, previous experiences, and just tell me a little bit about you specifically. I'm already sending out some tubs of protein, some different goodies, some like apparel, workout gear, shirts, hats. So y'all make sure that you hit us up, because anyone that shows the initiative to reach out to me, like, I'll pour back into you. I love this stuff. So yeah, please reach out for real.
Awesome. That's a really awesome thing that y'all just did. Thank you so much. Because for some people, it's a very emotional thing, until you get going and you're into it and you create the habit and you bring all these things, right? Until you get started.
Emotional.
Yeah, right. It's always, it's an emotional thing. So I think that is such an interesting part of it for people who are getting started. Like, it is emotional, right? It's for sure. You're in your body, you're pushing yourself.
Abby, do you have any words of encouragement that you want to share?
Yeah. How do we get our mindset? Like, how do you get your mind? How did you get your mindset? Or how do you tell people to get their mindset wrapped around getting started? That's where I want us to end today. And again, thank y'all both so much for being on to do this. And thank you for your workouts every day with us. So we're going to end with this today. So give us your best sales pitch for mindset shift around fitness.
So I will speak to beginners. And my biggest thing is that you can't do it all in one day, and you're not going to get there. Rome wasn't built in a day. My favorite saying is slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So if you want to make fast progress, slow consistency is where you're going to find that. So if you
say that again, slow is smooth. What is it?
Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Yes. Okay. That's one of my favorite sayings. And it's so true in all areas, but especially in fitness. I place expectations on myself, even with this marathon training thing. I was setting goals for myself, like, I'm going to run 10 miles day one, and it doesn't work. And it only makes you feel more dejected and bad at it. And you feel like you're just born to be terrible at it. And that's not true. It's slow and steady wins the race. You just have to stick with it. And truly, it will become a lifestyle. You'll get to a point where you're not even thinking about your body anymore. You're just thinking about feeling good and doing the things that are a part of your life. And your body is just responding by loving you back.
Yeah, I'll say this. I've trained, 200 clients. I mean a lot. It's a lot of people have come through. And this is the one that struck me, because it happened to me, it happened to Abbey, it will happen to all of you. And this is the craziest thing to happen, because no one expects it. You'll stay consistent and you'll feel like you have no clue what's going on, but you just keep going, right? And all of a sudden you'll start to learn a thing or two or three or four or 5 or 6, and then you'll have a friend ask you, hey Blaine, holy shit, man, you look pretty good. Like, what have you been doing? And you're like, I'm not qualified to answer that question. I'm not the fitness guy. I don't know what's going on here. And then 6 months later, 2 or 3 more people are going to ask you, shit, Blaine, you're looking really sexy, man. What's going on? And then you're like, well, I guess I've been doing these workouts, and, hold on. No, you don't do that movement like this. This is how I found. And then you'll report back. Yeah, I promise you, after I say it this once, some of y'all are going to identify with this. not yet, but soon. And some of you have already identified with this. You're going to be the fitness guy for your crowd and your community. I've seen it happen with so many people, and it's so empowering. It's just a skill set, and it can be learned. It's not impossible. It's not unattainable. I'm not Usain Bolt. Abbey is not Katie Ledecky, but we are surely really in shape. Like, I mean, we're damn sure the fitness people in our communities, and it's like, it just happens over time. And so be proud of yourself just for showing up, just for being there. Like, just take some of the pressure off. It's not as mean as you think it is. It's a lifetime, right? Yeah. Like, and it's not like Blaine was saying earlier, I've been in it in the past. You fell off. I'm trying to get back into it. This is the mindset shift that's so exciting. This is forever, right? And I know that sounds really intimidating. Forever? Yeah, like forever. You're doing this forever, but not for the sake of having a six pack, just for the sake of feeling good. And then the six pack is a byproduct of that.
Yeah.
But like, I had my younger brother, I was working out with him the other day because he's a guy that's hitting me up to get workout advice. And again, like, that's a crazy thing for me, is like, wow, man, like, you know, my younger brother's hitting me up. He said, man, I would never want to have veins like yours. Your veins are gross, Sean. I said, hey, man, you know, I told Abbey afterwards, I almost got offended, but then I was kind of like, I'm not even aiming for crazy veins or anything. I just, at this point, I like cooking healthy food and eating healthy for myself. I like going on long walks in the evening instead of watching TV and then watching TV. You know, it's like, now a byproduct of my healthy lifestyle is I have veins so vascular that they kind of gross people out. And now I took it to the furthest extreme, but that's to say you'll be somewhere on the scale and it's for the rest of your life, and it's not bad and it's not mean. And this is the community, me and Abbey and Blaine, and this Empower Hour. People that are fit, people that care, and that take the time to go do this. These are the people mentally and spiritually that you're surrounded by. And like, there's only so much gold and rainbows and butterflies and kittens waiting for you on the horizon. So like, it's cool. Just stay with it and you'll get a lot more of this. So that's my 2 cents.
Awesome. You guys are awesome. We've got like a few minutes left. I don't want to go over too far. You guys are busy. You're doing your thing. So last question as we log off, you have to talk about your bruise. So thank you all really quickly. Thank you all so much for being on, watching this. Again, it's Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. And Saturday at 9 a.m. This is Eastern. Most consistent gets $500. Find out on Tuesday on Good Day EPM when we give out the Consistency Award to 5 people. All 5 of those people are winning $500. John Crane said he's been going since July 21st. He feels so much better physically and mentally because of it. So thank you guys. Thank y'all for being on. Now, there's make sure you copy their email addresses. You can reach out to them. Reach out to me. We'll get you started. That's his Instagram. And Abbey, what is your bruising?
Yeah, so my bruises are from this physical therapy method called cupping. And we have these little suction cups, and you can put them on your skin, and it just pulls the blood and the knots right out of your muscles. And
she just went a little too hard in the paint on that one spot.
The funny thing is, I didn't go any harder than anywhere else that I did. It was just that messed up in that one spot for me, because that's a spot that I always struggle with my shoulders because of my scoliosis. It wants to go like that. And so me trying to push it back, it just got stuck in this position. And then after I did that, like, it looks freaking horrible, right?
Oh, I was like, it looks cool.
It doesn't hurt like at all. It doesn't even feel like a bruise. It just feels like an arm. Like, I can't feel it at all, but my mobility is back and I can bring my spine into alignment. So absolutely worth the bruise.
So cupping, something to Google if you don't know about that, right? But don't Google too hard.
Don't Google too hard.
Yeah.
$25 on Amazon, and you just grab like some Vaseline, and like, I mean, it feels awesome. So yeah, if you're looking for it, we've got more rehab and physical therapy goodies and gadgets than you could possibly imagine. So
And you can talk about it on the fitness workouts every Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, Saturdays at 9 a.m. I'm gonna keep pushing that. Thank y'all both so much for being on today. I feel so much better.
Okay, hey, we still got 36 people. Anyone new that y'all want to ask a question real quick? Anyone that has not shown up to a class that still feels like you got something to say, I'll hang out for like another 45, 60 seconds. Drop a question in there. I just want to see if any new people have got a question. And anyone that's like a pro, I'll see you on Saturday. And y'all know who I'm looking for. I'll see you there. And if not, thank y'all for hanging out and letting us be here and spread the gospel that is fitness.
Love it.
All right. I think that's it, man. Hank, thanks for showing up, brother.
Yeah, thank y'all so much. Cindy says she's gonna see you there. I see it. Do we have to show ourselves via phone, or how do we show ourselves during the workout?
You do not have to show yourself. If you want to be qualified for the $500 cash prizes, you do have to, just so that we can know that you're participating. You don't have to, though. We have some people that still show up. And honestly, I got to say, if you're showing up and your camera's not on, more power to you. You're working out just for you. You're not even in it for the $500. Like we still have a couple people that show up, no cameras. That's totally cool. I'll still call your name out. I'll still encourage you. No, I can't see you, but yes, I'm still here, chirping on your team. I'm in your corner. But if you want to be eligible for the EPM prizes, you got to have a camera on. If you just want to have a good workout, like, I'm not going to yell at you.
But a good reason to have your camera on is that you give tips to people as they, you adjust. And
I was gonna say that, yeah, we will give one-on-one attention to you if we see you doing something that's not right, or if you have something specific like a bad shoulder or something. We're always out here offering recommendations and variations. And if you have your camera on, that really helps us give you the attention that'll help you take your workout to the next level.
Yeah, but now Sean just figured out how to spotlight people. So be careful, because he might throw you on a big screen, as he says. So Hank says that he encouraged.
You're not careful.
Right, Danae, I don't know if she's still on, but Danae got spotted because she was doing something right with her little new baby. So cute. Anyway, I think that's it. I think that's everybody on that has a, Hank says that he encourages everyone. So Hank says to come to the class, you'll enjoy it. You'll get to see Hank giving it his all every time. So
hey, what Hank says goes. So y'all know the deal.
Right, exactly. Hank.
All right,
Y'all, thank y'all so much. I'll see you on the virtual workout. Bye.
Everybody.
Thank you.